Welcome to the Blazers Uprise postgame show. We're going to be recapping the Portland Trail Blazers losing once again. Tonight it was to the Toronto Raptors. Yet another very frustrating finish. I'm going to let people continue to file in. I'm going to make sure my audio is synced and good to go. I'm going to make sure my Alright, so hopefully that sounds good. Let me know if it's a little bit ahead, a little bit behind. So let me just start with this. Nasir Little did a good job defensively on Pascal Siakam. He was the only guy who had a chance at containing Pascal Siakam. So what do we do in crunch time? We don't play Little. Instead, we guard Siakam with a shooting guard. We guard Siakam with a undersized small forward, Rodney Hood, Kent Bazemore. Dame was on him for stretches. And he torched him. Nasir Little did a great job defending him, and I thought Terry was making progress because he actually started Nasir Little. It's what I recommended. Nasir Little is a better player than Mario Hezonja and Anthony Tolliver right now. Nasir Little should be playing 30 minutes a game right now. Mario Hezonja came in that second half, and dude just did not work defensively. You can see Siakam's spin move coming. It's a really good move. Mario Hezonja had it happen to him twice. Both times he acted shocked that Siakam pulled out a spin move on him. And then Siakam has the ball on the three-point line. Hezonja gives him 5 feet of space, doesn't even get a hand up, dares him to shoot. The dude can shoot the ball. So Siakam shoots, knocks it down. Okay, there's a big run. Then we make a run, we finally get all the way back. Then we run a 4-guard lineup that literally can't get a rebound. That literally can't guard Siakam. They had Rondae Hollis-Jefferson in as small forward, Pascal Siakam in as power forward. We were matching up Kent Bazemore, who hasn't been good, as well as Rodney Hood. And we couldn't compete against their size, so we gave up a ton of offensive rebounds down the stretch. And they just methodically picked us apart. We had no rim protection, other than Whiteside, but the thing is, Whiteside had to get out and guard Marc Gasol because Marc Gasol can shoot. So behind Whiteside, our best rim protection was Rodney Hood. I mean, Nasir Little's undersized, but that dude was rotating well all game. Help side defense, Nasir Little was rotating well on the help side and was a presence around the rim. Nasir Little can defend. We knew this when we drafted him. We knew this, when he was a high school prospect, for those of us who, follow high school basketball. We're just so undersized, man. Rebounding is such an issue right now. And Neil won't go out and sign a big. But our offense, man. Our offense looked better the first half. I actually enjoyed watching the first half. We're actually putting pressure on the defense. We were moving the ball a bit. Playing with some spark on that end. The third quarter, during the last 4 minutes, Portland did not get a field goal. Or I think they might have gotten a field goal at the end of the quarter. Toronto went on a 16-3 run, and we ended up erasing that lead, but when we made that run in the fourth quarter, we should have been building a 10-point lead. Instead, it was just to get back and tie the game. During the end of that fourth quarter, during the last 4 minutes of that fourth quarter, our offense, we literally ran zero offense. It was literally the best couple of shots we got were contested Rodney Hood threes, and he had been knocking him down, and his that three from the corner is good, but it was contested. We weren't really getting it wasn't like a super quality 3-point look. He was knocking down open threes earlier in the game, and they were running out on him because he was knocking down shots. He was our best scorer tonight. Other than that, you have Bazemore driving to the rim out of control, throwing the ball over the rim. You have Dame trying to go 1-on-3 and just getting snuffed out in traffic time and time again. That last 4 minutes of the third quarter really hurt this game, even though we came back and tied it. That last 4 minutes of third quarter is exactly what I'm talking about, where we literally just, I don't know, man, our offense just withers away. It just, like, we were doing a good job earlier in the game getting into our offense early on the shot clock and then being deliberate, not forcing bad shots and just running a set offense and waiting until the right opportunity presented itself, and we were playing good offense. During the end of that third quarter, man, we literally went completely away from it. Slowly got into our sets. Sets took forever to develop. Basically, Toronto started defending a little bit harder, started defending a little bit more physical. They have long, rangy, athletic guys, and our offense was not able to accomplish anything. Which is why we went scoreless for the last 4 minutes of that third quarter. And there will be bad stretches on offense. But you still got to try and get good shots. And if you're not getting good shots, you at least got to be ready to get back, because that's the problem. We were forcing up a lot of stuff in traffic, turnovers. We were forcing up threes from the corner, which ended up rebounding long and sparking transition offense for the Raptors. We ended up, Bazemore driving, airballing over the rim. They ended up calling a travel on that. He did follow his own miss, but just the types of plays we were getting was allowing Toronto runouts, and we were getting absolutely nothing in the half court, and it literally killed our momentum at the end of the third quarter, and that's the problem. We've ended quarters really, really poorly. We ended the second quarter poorly. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm confusing that for the end of the first. I don't know. We just have a pattern of ending quarters really, really badly. And the end of that third quarter really hurt our team. We ended up making that run, playing with some energy. I mean, Mario hit a deep three. Probably not going to have that happen consistently. Shouldn't rely on that. CJ broke out of his shell a little bit. Got some buckets. That was nice to see. He's starting to play a little bit better. But then we go to this four-guard lineup, and they just kill us on the boards. And Siakam kills us because he's shooting over guys that are far shorter than him. I mean, Rodney Hood, that's a 2-inch size difference, but Rodney Hood doesn't have a chance guarding Siakam in the low post. And then, stupidly, we let Siakam run into threes. Like, Bazemore switched out on Siakam, and Siakam was on the perimeter. He just dribbled the ball up to the three-point line. Bazemore backed up, being scared of the drive, and Siakam pulls up for three. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's the same thing. I mean, props to Stotts for starting Little, but that was the obvious decision. I feel weird giving a coach props when it's something that, I said earlier today on my podcast, start Nasir Little. I mean, I'm not going to give a head coach props for something that we all would do. There was a poll before the game, True Blazer fan posted a poll on Twitter. It had like 100 votes asking if people would start Nasir Little. 90% of them said they would start Nasir Little. So I'm not going to sit here and give Terry Stotts props for doing something that 90% of the fan base would do. And if we're, resigned to giving Stotts props for that, then we've really lowered the bar on what we expect out of a head coach. But also, man, what really frustrated me is you see the way Nasir Little plays. You see how much energy he plays with. I know he's fresh, but you see how much it seems like he wants to win when he's out there. His energy level. Where's that same energy level with a guy like Mario Hezonja? Where's that same energy level with a guy like CJ McCollum? Where's that same energy level? CJ's burnt out, but even at the start of the season, he doesn't play with that energy level. These guys don't play with that energy level, and some of that is just mental makeup. Some of that is, attitude. But like, God, dude, we're just not playing hard. We're not playing hard, man, and it pisses me off because I would personally go out there and bust my ass for this team. I would play like Nasir Little, man. I love Nasir Little. I love Nasir Little because that dude plays his ass off. And I know he's a rookie, but that dude plays hard. I wish the rest of this team would play hard. I wish Mario Hezonja would play hard. Dude plays... People give Whiteside a lot of crap for playing lazy. You know who plays lazy? It's Mario Hezonja. And that dude is worse than I even imagined. And I was one of the most outspoken people on relying on Mario Hezonja is not a good move. And I know we have to now because Zach Collins went down with injury, but there's bigs out there. Kenneth Farid's out there. Jonas Jerebko. There's bigs out there that would have been able to be signed. We would have been able to sign him for the minimum level contract. Instead, we signed Mario Hezonja. That's a big mistake. We signed Anthony Tolliver. Right away, we signed these guys. So it's not like, oh, we struck out. Right away, we signed these guys. Meanwhile, you got much better options on the free agent market that are available that would be the difference in games right now because that's how bad Anthony Tolliver and Mario Hezonja have been. I mean, when you're thoroughly outplayed by a 25th pick in the draft I think he's 19 years old, and you're thoroughly outplayed by that guy just because that guy plays hard. It's sad, man. I'm sad, dude. Why did we not double Siakam in the second half? That's a great question because Terry Stotts is too stubborn to double. Guy gets going, Terry Stotts lets him beat him. Siakam gets going, he doesn't put Nasir Little back in, who was our best defender on Siakam. No, he guards him with a damn shooting guard. With a 4-guard lineup that can't get a rebound. That lineup starts struggling, can't get a rebound, Siakam starts going off, he doesn't adjust. Keeps that same damn lineup out there. It pisses me off, man. It's absolutely ridiculous. VanVleet seemed to be higher caliber than Dame tonight. WTF. Dame's exhausted. It caught up to Dame tonight. Second night of a back-to-back. He looked exhausted. He's playing over 38.5 minutes per game. When Sauce was asked about Dame, it'll be fine. You know what I mean? Like, we've done a study, guys playing over 38 minutes per game are completely fine. Dude was gassed. Even Chad Doing, who loves Stotts, criticized Stotts for that. It's ridiculous. But then also look at the way they were guarded, man. Dame had no space to do anything. Dame had absolutely no space to do anything. Meanwhile, our defensive scheme is to sag the big 15, 20 feet below the three-point line. Guy gets screened. Marc Gasol's a really good screener, so VanVleet is able to pull up from the three-point line with nobody around him. And he knows that coming off that screen that nobody's going to be around him. So he's stepping into those shots with total, complete confidence, so he's able to get going. That's why you switch up pick-and-roll schemes, so guys are able to step into shots like that with complete confidence because you don't know what reads you're going to have to make. You don't know that you're going to be wide open. But that whole second half, he got going because we were running the same damn pick-and-roll scheme against him. In the first half with Nasir Little hedged pick and rolls, and it actually, Nasir Little picked up a foul here and there, but VanVleet, he wasn't getting 3-point shots with Nasir Little hedging. He might have gotten into the paint once or twice, but then we did a good job bottling up once he got into the paint. We hedged him, took away that 3-point shot. He tried to make a play downhill, wasn't really that effective. And then for some reason, we go away from that, and we let him pull up off the screen for 3 multiple times. Multiple times that second half, we let this dude pull up. This dude gets going. And we don't adjust. We don't switch back to what we were doing in the first half. Have Nasir Little out there, have him hedging. Even a guy like Mario Hezonja, he's built to hedge. Like, dude's long and rangy and kind of quick, I guess. You have Hezonja hedge out on that. Take away that 3-point line. Even Whiteside, man. I know Whiteside isn't the most mobile, but Whiteside can hedge. So get Whiteside out there. At least make him think about it. And if, Whiteside is too slow for that, then get Scowl out there. Scowl's a little bit quicker. Like, change something up. Adjust. Instead, he goes away from what's working in that second half. I thought Terry Stotts coached a good half the first half. I was saying I like what Stotts is doing. We started off 13-2. We started off great. Hedge and pick and rolls, starting little. Moving the ball on offense. Everything that me and Eric Brant asked for. I mean, you knew they were going to give up that lead. I said earlier today, watch, if they get a 10-point lead, I know that's going to disappear. We get a 10-point lead early for the second game in a row, like we have multiple times this season. We got a 19-point lead early against San Antonio, and then evaporates like that. Evaporates in the first half. It's not even like we last till the second half. It evaporates. We literally can't hold a double-digit lead to save our lives because we're not a good team right now. Because we're not playing hard. Because we're horribly coached. And because we're playing guys like Mario Hezonja. At least Anthony Tolliver didn't play tonight. Terry Stotts made progress with that. But, dude, we're bad. We are bad. And we got a 6-game road trip coming up. We might win 1 game. So we're looking at 5-13. And yeah, we had the more talented roster tonight. Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, Hassan Whiteside, Rodney Hood played phenomenal. That's a more talented top 4 guys than Pascal Siakam, Marc Gasol, who's been horrible all season, Fred VanVleet, and Terrence Davis. Terrence Davis went undrafted. He's an undrafted rookie. Yet another undrafted rookie killing us. But yet, we're missing guys, right? That's the excuse that they want to bring up. Once again, we're the more talented team and we're losing. So what's the problem? Fred is good. Yeah, Fred is good. He's about as good as Rodney Hood. Rodney Hood's been killing it this year. We had the better roster out there. They started Malcolm freaking Miller, Norman Powell. We lost to the Warriors when they're starting Damian Lee, Kai Bowman, Eric Paschall. We lost to the Kings. They didn't have Fox. They didn't have Bagley. The Kings' best players. Buddy Hield, Harrison Barnes, Bogdanovich, Yogi Ferrell. We had a better roster than them. That game wasn't even really close at the end. Raptors were missing guys too. That can't be the excuse. 100%. Joe97 NSX. 100%, man. They were missing Lowry. They were missing Ibaka. They just lost their best player, Kawhi Leonard. They just lost Danny Green. They're missing Anunoby. They still played a solid, good brand of basketball. They still dropped 114, 115 points. But if they played a bad brand of basketball, if they play bad basketball, that fan base, are they going to be sitting there saying, oh, well, you know what, we're missing guys, so that's just the excuse for everything. You know what I mean? Dude. Opposing coach, they don't have a power forward to attack the interior. Nasir Little did a good job on Siakam today. Nasir Little was a good power forward option today. Nasir Little. Do you see the energy pickup? I told you guys, if we start Nasir Little, he'll play with a ton of energy, and that energy will be contagious. He helped the energy level. And then he doesn't see the court in the fourth quarter. Probably because he didn't have 20 points on 5 shots. Because that's probably what it'd take. M. Saloto, thank you for the $2 donation. We're making everyone look good, plain and simple. Yeah, we're making everyone look great. I'd be excited to play the Blazers right now. How does Nasir Little not step on the court in the fourth quarter, man? Can somebody explain that to me? Am I crazy? Was he not as good as I thought he was tonight? Was the little things that I thought he did, were they not important? God, dude. Yeah, he's going to make mistakes. But the rest of this roster is making a bunch of mistakes. Dude ends up botching an inbounds play. Right? This was in the first half. I think it was in the first half. Ends up botching the inbounds play where they throw it over the top. The guy catches it and throws it inside to Whiteside. He botched that inbounds play. I'm trying to remember what exactly happened because it was like a sequence. Botched that inbounds play. He made up for it. He realized he botched the inbounds play, and that was the play where he ended up having just that amazing, ridiculous save. Right? Saves the ball, sacrifices his body. I don't even know how he made that save. Immediately pops back up, sprints to the rim in rebound position. They get another board. Nasir Little gets the ball back, hits a step back mid-range jumper. Dude made a mistake and busted his ass to make up for it. Which, that's the only guy who will... Dame's like that. I don't know, man. Like, but I love that. You know what I mean? Dude made a mistake, so he busted his ass, sacrificed his body, made a great play, saved a possession. We got to score out of that. That's the type of possessions we need. And he played good defense. And he crashes the boards hard. And then he didn't see the floor in the fourth quarter, and we guarded Siakam with a damn shooting guard. Oh, dude, I'm so frustrated, man. Shout out to the 120 people in here. These streams pop off after a loss, so I guess that's good. I guess that's the silver lining, because right now I'm very very frustrated, man. Like, I pour so much time, heart into this channel covering the Blazers, and then super excited for this season. Parity in the league. Finally, we got parity. We got a chance. Build on the Western Conference Finals. And then we come out and look like this. And people want to say, oh, they're just missing Zach Collins. Zach Collins would have been nice to have guard Pascal Siakam. See, we lost because we didn't have Zach Collins to guard Pascal Siakam. We had a guy who was guarding Pascal great. And we did play him in the fourth quarter. I'm tired of the Zach Collins excuse. How did Rondae have 3 offensive rebounds in a row? Because he was playing small forward, right? And he's bigger than Rodney Hood. We had Kent Bazemore and Rodney Hood as our forwards. They had Rondae Hollis-Jefferson. They had Pascal Siakam. Because we went away from Little. Little would have been in there scrapping for those boards with Hollis-Jefferson. But he was on the bench as the hype man when he should have been in the game. Yet he was still, the best hype man on the bench. That dude's the best hype man on the bench right now. And I mean, I understand having to put Hazonia in to guard, to give Little a spell. So I'm not blaming Stotts for Hazonia being in. Like, you had to give Little a rest at some point. But Hazonia just didn't work hard enough defensively, and he got burnt. He got absolutely burnt. And then offensively, he's a nightmare. Like, he'll have solid games where he'll hit a 3. He had a good drive to the hoop today. Like, he'll have games where he's solid offensively, but dude's a nightmare. Hassan is not killing our energy. For anybody blaming Hassan Whiteside looked good tonight. That first part, we got off to that lead because Hassan Whiteside was making shots, and he was playing hard. He was closing out hard. He's going after rebounds hard. People make Hassan the scapegoat. He's not the scapegoat. He shouldn't be the scapegoat. GGTV tank mode. That trade doesn't work financially. Whiteside's fine. There's a lot of times where he'll protect the rim, get pushed underneath the rim because he's protecting the rim, and guys on the backside don't crash the boards, don't box out, don't help him out. And then, oh, we're not getting rebounds, must be Hassan Whiteside's fault. I feel like that's how some fans think about it. Hassan's fine, man. Hassan's fine. Little Fawns Cornelius listening to this in the car, LOL. Drive safe. I'm glad I didn't see Tolliver play today too, man. I'm glad that we're playing Little over him. Little is so much better. But dude, we need to bring somebody in. We need to bring in Kenneth Faried. We need to bring in Kenneth Faried, man. Or Joe Kim Noah, or somebody. We gotta bring in somebody. We can't keep doing this. We can't keep doing the same thing game after game after game. Okay, so I like that we switched it up with Little, but dude, we keep having the same problems prop up. That offense, end of the third, and then middle to end of the fourth, was that classic Stotts fence. Isolation, bogged down, no chance of anything developing, super slow to get into our sets. Lack of sets. Like, we were there was multiple possessions in a row where we didn't run sets and tried to go 1-on-3, and that's the thing. Though Toronto is a really smart defensive team, so they're able to see things developing. Like they're able to see they were rotating while Dame was starting his drive. They were rotating fast at Dame, and guys weren't in the right positions. There would be two offensive players standing right next to each other, so one defender could take away both of them as options offensively for a Dame kick out. So Dame tries driving 1-on-3, and dude just gets smothered by people, and then people are like, damn, Dame didn't look good tonight. It's not Dame's fault. Dude's gassed, and dude try to create out of an offense that completely bogged down. It's just frustrating because we were better at it the first half. We were better. The second half, we were solid until the end of the third quarter, and then we revert back to old bad habits. Fareed just signed with China League. Pretty sure we can still bring him over. We gotta bring in somebody. We should bring him Fareed. Should have brought him in a while ago. We have no size, man. These guys are scrubs, dude. That's where Olshey went wrong. Tolliver, Hazonia. I mean, you guys give me your big takeaways. I'm gonna just tune into chat. My almost 30-minute rant is over. I'm gonna tune into chat. We got a lot of people in here, so I want to see a lot of different opinions. I got chat right here. If any of you guys are new, welcome to the channel. Wish everything was a little bit more positive, but I'm a diehard fan, so I take these losses just as hard as you guys, if not harder, because I pour my heart and soul into this channel, and that's very, it's very tough for me right now because this team sucks. They're 4-8, man. That's big takeaway. Stotts only runs one set. It looks like it right now, man. They need bigger size, especially at power forward. True. Man, how do you lose to the Raps without 3 starters at home? I'm assuming Subhan Khan is a... are you a Blazers or a Raptors fan? Because a Blazers fan, we've played so bad that shouldn't surprise anybody. We lost to the Warriors. Buzzkill says Stotts. When do we panic because he's getting panicky? I mean, I don't think we should ever panic. I wear my emotions on my sleeve, so I'm venting what I'm feeling right now. You know what I mean? As a Blazer fan who pours his heart and soul into this team, so we shouldn't get panicky, but I'm gonna get increasingly more frustrated if we keep standing at this brick wall and beating our head against it instead of walking around it and fixing some things, consistently fixing some things. Because we had progress tonight, but. Chris Stevens says, thanks for the content, guys. Signed up for your Patreon. Appreciate it, man. Greatly appreciate the support. This community I feel like it does help me and hopefully host all of you guys as well. Talking about how bad we are right now, man. This is a meltdown. This team's a meltdown. This team is melting down. Eric Brant, bro. I know you're driving back from the game, probably don't make sure you drive safe, or maybe somebody's driving you. We play too much ISO. Will the Blazers trade for Green? Because that's the recent rumor. Draymond Green can't be traded until February 3rd. Dame is a second option if he wants to win a ring. 100% disagree. Dude's been getting 33 points per game on crazy efficiency so far this year. In a crummy system. With crummy depth. Would I trade Simons and Zach if needed to get someone like Blake Griffin? I'm not sure, man. Because I'm not sure Blake Griffin makes us a contender right now. That's how bad we are. Like, I'm not sure he makes us a contender. This team's bad. Like, I don't know. I don't think I wouldn't do both those guys regardless. But We'll talk about trades. Hood was on fire and still couldn't get many stops on D in the fourth. Our clutch D sucks. Sucks, dude. Dame even referenced it. Like, we're awful on defense in the fourth quarter. Dame said as much. Love that morons are talking bad about Dame on this chat. I mean, it was Dame's first bad game of the year. And it was game 12. I'll take that. Stats logic, my game plan does work eventually. Stats logic right now is my game plan worked in the past, so let's just roll the ball out there. I don't know. Scal has been great for us, bro. He is struggling lately. His efficiency is dropping off, but the dude's not playing as much as he should be, and I can tell the dude isn't playing with 100% confidence right now. It's obvious with Scal. He's kind of thinking through things too much. He needs more minutes so that he's able to get more experience playing for this team, so that he's not thinking through things so much, so that he's able to play more comfortably, more confident. He'll be a better player for it, and he's a better option at power forward than Hezonja, man. I'd be running a... Honestly, right now, I'd be running a 3-big lineup with Scal, Whiteside, and Little. With maybe a little bit of small ball where we have Hood playing a little bit of power forward just against the right lineups, not like it was tonight. You know, maybe try it tonight after a minute or two. It was obvious it wasn't going to work. This lineup was struggling against them and stuck with it for 5-6 minutes to the end of the game. Still wasn't the lineup to play it against when they have Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, Pascal Siakam, Marc Gasol. Scal should be sinking threes. He was over 37% his rookie season on a small sample size. He had a much larger sample size his sophomore year and shot over 35%. So I don't know why Scal wasn't shooting threes. He isn't being used as a shooter at all. It's very, very weird because usually Stotts turns guys into shooters. What trade would I do to improve the team? I'll talk about trades. I'll have a trade episode, or maybe that'll be our next podcast where we can just take your guys' trades. Today's Wednesday. Maybe that could be a Friday podcast. Do you guys want me to start doing a draft prospect series? Because right now it looks like we're going to be a lottery team. So if you guys want me to start doing a draft prospect series, I love scouting. I love talking about draft prospects. It wasn't something that I planned on doing because I wasn't planning on focusing on draft prospects, but it's a bit early. Yeah, it is a bit early, but it gives you guys people to follow in college basketball or overseas. You know what I mean? And also, it's like I don't know. That's the thing with sucking is we'd end up getting a solid draft pick. So that's like the silver lining of it all. I don't know. I don't know. So let's look at the stats tonight because I haven't gotten to that. We'll look at the team stats first and see where we really struggled. Field goal percentage, 39.6%. Can't get quality shots inside. Shot 35.4% from three-point land. Half of our shots were threes, which means we shot about 43.8% from two-point range, which is not going to get it done. Absolutely not going to get it done. Total turnovers, 12. Toronto shot 46% from the field, 44% from three. Again, we struggled to guard the three-point line. We got out-rebounded, 50-43. Toronto had 14 offensive rebounds. We had 11. A lot of those offensive rebounds came late. We had a 12-point lead at one point. Gave it up, which we're so good at. We only had 22 points in the paint. Toronto had 50. That's a common theme of us almost getting doubled up in terms of points in the paint. It's ridiculous. 22 points in the paint. We did have 24 assists. Like I said, we did move the ball better. Still can't get consistent quality shots inside without CJ, Dame consistently breaking guys down. Yeah. Box score wise, we had Rodney Hood had 25 points, 9 for 15 shooting from the field, 5 for 10 from 3-point land. Apparently, our offense last year was Mo Harkless's fault because that dude can't shoot. It was Mo Harkless's fault because that guy couldn't shoot, right? Well, now we have a guy who's absolutely killing it, and our offense still doesn't look good. Like I said back then, the style of offense, the way in which we were playing offense, wasn't because we had forwards that couldn't shoot. Now we have a forward who was 5 for 10 from 3-point land today. And when he was in the game, our offense still bogged down the stretch. Our offensive style still went to crap down the stretch. Even though we have a small forward that can hit threes, that can shoot. And when he's run off the 3-point line, his pull-up game was working. But it's our offense still down the stretch. In clutch time, awful. Awful brand of offense. Kent Bazemore, 2 for 10, 2 for 8 from 3. He's been a major disappointment this season. Kent Bazemore has been Evan Turner bad this season. His game looks a lot nicer. It doesn't look as ugly as Turner's, so therefore he's easier to watch. But I'm not sure he's better than Evan Turner. Kent Bazemore has not been good. He makes a lot of boneheaded plays. Takes some poor shots. Mario Hezonja had 10 and 6 on 2 for 5 shooting. Turnover. So Mario wasn't bad. His defense was poor. Scal didn't score in 18 minutes. Missed some push shots. But like I said, he's not playing super confidently. I don't know, man. I got a plug in my laptop. CJ definitely wasn't the problem tonight. CJ kept our offense rolling. CJ played within our offense for the most part. He did take a bad shot here and there, but CJ wasn't bad. He was better than how he's been. I gotta plug this in. Where am I? I always forget to plug this in before I start. I'm in the dark here and I literally cannot see. Yeah, Nurk at power forward, Hassan at center does not work. Dame was gassed. Yeah, he was. Terrastas doesn't think so, though. Abu Bakar with a casual fan take says, "Can't lie, as a Raps fan, all I gotta say is Dame time turned into lame time. We clamped that man." Yeah, you took 3 guys to clamp that man. Congrats. Dame's still been better than any player on that Raptors team all season long. I'm glad that you guys are seeing what I'm talking about with this coaching, though. Because, these problems existed in the playoffs. We just kind of played through them. Denver shot horrible in the playoff series. They were inexperienced. Denver did not play a good brand of basketball. I didn't think we played a great brand of basketball. You know what I mean? They just, they tried to hide Murray on Rodney Hood all series long. They didn't move away from that, which was a mistake for them. We punished them by taking advantage of the mismatch with Rodney Hood, isolating Rodney Hood. And CJ played well. Dame played solid that series. Abu Bakar says, we're even more injured than you. I don't see any possible excuses. Homie, there is no excuses. There is no excuses. Our team sucks right now. I know the Raps were down 4 of their top 8. I know Raps were down 3 important players. We lost to the Warriors when they were playing G League players, so I don't need to hear that from Raps fans. I know. But you guys got a good head coach, and I'm jealous. A good chunk of our problems are solved when Nurkic is in the middle. You shouldn't be that reliant on a center that can pass to run a okay brand of basketball. And I pointed out these problems all season long. Now I'm a little bit more frustrated. I'm bolder about them, more outspoken about them. But I said these were things we needed to work on. Go watch my 12 things to watch for this preseason. I pointed out some of these problems. Was hoping in the preseason to see improvement. Go watch that video, and I'll come back to this. Come back to this stream. I'm saying the same things. In the preseason, I was optimistic. Okay, hopefully we can use Dame off the ball more in sets that get Dame good shots without having him to work his ass off or hit pull up 30-footers. That was one of my points in that 12 things to watch for in the preseason video. Now, we're not using Dame off the ball at all. We're not using him in sets off the ball. I honestly feel like we're literally only running 2-3 sets right now in our half-court offense. It's killing me, man. It's killing me. I don't know. So anyway, what content you guys want me to make? I know you guys like the mailbags. I'll do that trade stuff because that's the top content. But when the team's doing this bad, I still want to give you guys something you want to watch. I know, paying attention to the team right now isn't, a ton of fun. So just let me know what content you want to watch in a time of struggle like this. I'll try and adjust. Maybe it's more live streams since we can hang out, banter a little bit, talk with the live chat. But other than that, it's not, I don't know. Video breakdowns. Yeah. Those take forever, man, with footage and stuff, and then they get copyright claimed and whatnot, but alright, see you later, Adam versus Eve. Have a good night, man. Recaps? This is the recap. In depth on the offense right now and how to improve it. I will make a video breakdown at some point. I don't know how to record game footage though, so a lot of the footage I can find will be only offensive possessions where the Blazers score. That doesn't really work, you know what I mean? I do want to showcase for the people that can't see the basketball things I'm talking about, for the Stars fans that want to say, want to argue cliche, or want to make cliche arguments instead of actually talking about basketball. Maybe I could break down some footage so they can see what I'm talking about. The future doesn't look bleak with Dame's Supermax. I'm responding to Scott Lewis. The future doesn't look bleak because of Dame's Future Max. It looks better because of Dame's Future Max, because if he didn't sign that Supermax, we'd be stressing out about losing him. AM Productions, Mark Jackson has all the same problems as Stotts. Just talk about LeBron. Clickbait LeBron. No. Jagged lens, yeah. Raptors are a good defensive team, and they defend smart, and they game plan well to take stars out of the game. That's what I wish Terry Stotts did. Instead, he puts a shooting guard in single coverage against Pascal Siakam and hopes for the best. How much do I think the loss of Vanderpool has had on our coaching? I feel like we don't make the same adjustments this year. We didn't really make adjustments last year. We just had a little healthier roster. Guys that knew their role a little bit more, fit in a little bit better. We still had the same problems. We just overcame them. We were able to overcome them. Or we had a personnel that was more tailored to offsetting some of the issues that we had. Offsetting is a good word, because that's the thing. Like, if we have an isolation-heavy offense, it's going to be an issue at points, but when we have a great isolation scorer like Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, that's going to offset some of the coaching issues, and that's going to hide some of the coaching issues. There was a Bucks fan that said something to me, I think it was in like a live chat after a game a couple games ago, or in the comment section. He was like, yeah, this is the same type of basketball that the Milwaukee Bucks played when Terry Stotts was head coach. They just didn't have like a great superstar to make it look better, and it looked awful. We have a great superstar to mask it. And yet Stotts gets credit for what Dame's able to do. We have possibly the most talented trailblazer ever. Some of you might not agree with that. We have possibly the most talented trailblazer ever. A guy who's been voted the best leader in the entire NBA. Our success is due to him. Anthony, another solid night. Yeah, Anthony's a lot of fun to watch. Anthony and Little, if they play big minutes, I'll still watch this team, even if they're doing horrible, because those guys are fun to watch. Anthony could easily end up being a star, man. The dude's barely 20. Think about how good Dame was when he was barely 20. He wasn't doing this well in a low major D1 conference at Weber State. You know what I mean? Like, Anthony is a lot better at this point in his career than Dame was. Dame was at Weber State his sophomore year, not even on draft radars. So, and Anthony has the perfect mentor in Dame. So, I mean, like, future, dude, we keep struggling. You know what I mean? Maybe we'll get a good draft pick. Then you're looking at trades next offseason. Like, we do have flexibility now. That's the good thing. We do have expiring contracts. We do have a pick that's going to look good. We'll win a lot of games after the trade deadline if we still have our team intact, because our schedule gets a lot easier. We'll get Nurkic back. We'll get Collins back sometime in March probably. So, I mean, like, we'll win a lot of games at the trade deadline. Right now, we got to tread water. Right now, we're not treading water. So, like, future, like, either we win a lot of games, we make the playoffs, we have a healthier roster, we improve the roster, and we have a chance to make noise in the playoffs, or the worst option would be, okay, we miss the playoffs, and we get a high draft pick. If we ended up somehow getting it into the top 4, then we could trade it straight across for a guy like Blake Griffin, not have to give up anything else. Granted, we wouldn't really have the salary, so it would have to be, I don't know exactly how we do it. Depends on some of the moves we make, but like, or we take a guy who is a future all-star with that, with a high draft pick potentially, and we add that to Anthony and Zach Collins and Nasir Little, and that looks good. Even though it would be a lost season, which would absolutely suck, it's not like we're stuck being a team that has no chance to contend and has no chance to end up with a high draft pick. Right now, we have a chance of both. Because either this team's going to get a lot better after the trade deadline and make the playoffs and have a really good roster because we're going to make a trade and get guys back that we need, or we're not going to make the playoffs, we're going to get a solid draft pick. That's the most positive spin that I can put on this right now. And we have Dame locked up for 6 years, so we don't have to worry about him leaving. We have set ownership. Last year at this time, we were worried about the team potentially moving. I wasn't worried about that, but some fans were. So that's the most positive spin I can put on this. Also, this season could end up with Terry Stotts getting fired. That's another positive right now. Oh, there's positives that'll come out of this. It sucks because I want I want a really competitive season. I want the team to be better. That'd be a lot of fun to cover right now. But Who has the authority to fire Stotts? Is it only Jody? Yeah, I don't know. Chris McGowan might have a say in that. Nick Nurse is a great coach. Nick Nurse is a terrific coach. I wish we had Nick Nurse. Best season ever, losing season top pick, and they fire Stotts. I mean, for the chances of Dame winning a championship, that might be the best option. You see how Nick Nurse has set plays and adjusts after a timeout? Our team can't relate. Yeah, man. You see the way they played offense, especially when they had mismatches? You see how deliberate their offense is, the movement they have. They know what they were looking for. I know it's a lot of guys that was in that system last year, but Stotts' system has never really looked like how Nick Nurse can run a system. The worst I've ever felt was definitely when Nurkic's leg broke. I mean, like that, dude. Blazer fan, it's a roller coaster, man. And right now we're on the bottom of the biggest hill. We peaked Western Conference Finals. Now we're at the bottom. The bottom of the roller coaster goes under the water. Right now we're struggling to breathe. Just hopefully it'll go up. But I don't think they'll trade CJ. That's not going to happen. It can't happen until January 30th. So even the trade talk that I'm going to talk about, it's not going to involve possible CJ trades. Because it's not going to happen. Like, let's talk about something realistic. What's your IG? I got something to DM you. Something, Brody. I got my Twitter at ToryJonesYT at the People's Mix. You know my Twitter. You follow me. But yeah, CJ's not gonna get. Why don't I like Stotts? The horrible ball movement. No off-ball player movement. So a lot of our sets rely on Dame and CJ to break down the defense. A lot of the movement that we do have in our sets is all around the perimeter. I tweeted out a video clip of one of those sets yesterday. That Sacramento Kings game. We don't really have actions that get guys open or potentially open going towards the rim as an off-ball mover where they could receive a pass going towards the rim. Like, the only way we go inside attacking the rim is if we throw it into the post or if we have a guy dribble it down or pass it to a guy in pick and roll. Like, it's either through pick and roll isolation or, like, just bringing the ball down, posting a guy up. We can't even post a guy up with good position because we literally walk the ball down the side of the court and telegraph that we're going to throw it into the post, so the guy trying to post up starts getting pushed away from the basket, finally catches the ball there 15 feet away, not in great position. We could set a cross screen for that big in a set action to get them deep post position, but we don't do that. We don't run UCLA screens. We don't run back screens on the wing. The only back screen we run is when Anthony loops around from the perimeter. And we actually hit that once tonight. Got a decent shot. That was the only play tonight that I can remember where, as part of a set play, a guy caught the ball going towards the rim and scored. It was that one, I think they were kind of high. Anthony caught it, then floated it in. He caught it high, brought it down, pushed it in off the backboard. That was the only play like that. Go watch our scoring plays and think about how we score. It's Dame, CJ isolation, pick and roll. Maybe a post up. Maybe a fast break opportunity or a putback. We don't even run that much. We've always been one of the slowest paced teams. We love playing in the half court even though our half court sets suck. So that's kind of the basis of why I don't like Stotts' offense. I haven't even gotten into the defense. Abubakar, the Raptors fan, says your entire offense seems to rely on getting penetration and hitting a tough jumper or a semi-contested three. That 100% is. I had Sixers fans come in and say that to me. That's what I've heard from pretty much every other fan base we played. It's rough, man. If you guys see any good quotes, from the press conference, then you can quote them to me. I don't know why we're talking about Michael Porter Jr. Homie, I don't know how to say your name. You know I'm talking to you, though, so what does it matter? Abubakar. That's what it looks like. DeRozan. Why are we talking about DeRozan versus CJ? They're not going to trade CJ for DeRozan. Spurs aren't going to trade DeRozan for CJ. And that doesn't solve any of our problems. Literally does not solve a single thing. Notice little backdoor a couple times. We also abandoned it, though. Little moves off the ball. I like that. We should have set plays to maybe get him a lob. Maybe design plays to get him cutting towards the rim where he can be effective. Instead, he catches the ball behind the backboard in short corner and has to try and power through defense that's already there because we had to drive into the paint to get Little a ball in short corner. So we brought the defense to the rim and then dish it off to Little 5 feet away from the rim. You already got two guys there. So Little tries to power up. Damn confident in Blazers. We always find a way to turn it around. End quote. I mean, that's like the company line. I want to know more. Dante Nero says, Terry Stotts says he was pleased with how Nasir Little held his own with Siakam defensively in his first career start. Then why didn't he get the floor in the fourth quarter? Why did we guard him with the shooting guard? At least he noticed that Nasir Little did a good job because he certainly didn't coach like it because he took him out. Like 3-4 minutes left, 5 minutes left, some point in there. That amount of time in the third quarter, and then he didn't see the floor again. And Siakam started going off. And that's when they made their run. That's when our defense went to crap, dude. Because I want to. Abu Bakr. Dude's like mad because I wasn't saying his name right. Like, okay, buddy. Alright, so my internet started to cut out. Hopefully that's not a common theme. That was a problem last night. I want Hood in the corner. I want an Assyrian for Bazemore. At Matt Narvaez. And I wanted Hood in the corner. What did that spacing do for our offense anyway? We couldn't get a good shot. We couldn't get a good offensive possession anyways. Who would I have kept from last year? I don't know, man. I thought O'Shea had a decent offseason, except for Hazonia and Tolliver, and now we're having to rely on those guys. Eugene David, what do I say? Torrey tank 10 and 15 and force a fire coach? I don't even know if they'd fire him no matter how bad we do this season. So it's not like something that I'm going to speculate on. We didn't take advantage of Boucher in the paint. Whiteside could have bodied his way. 100% he could have. Set a cross screen for Whiteside, where Whiteside's going towards ball, where he can catch it with good position and abuse that mismatch. But we don't do that, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's so ridiculous that we don't do that, man. God, dude, our sets are so bad. I like the Bielitsa idea too, because that dude can shoot. Isn't a horrible defender, but the problem is not that we have 2 point guards. Austin Wack, I disagree, man. That's the only reason our team has been a winning team. Eric Brant just got home. All right, I'm gonna bring on Eric Brant for a little bit. No face cam, because I need my TV next to my computer to do that. My TV's up there. But I'm going to open up my Skype. That means that my stream is going to lag a little bit. But then I'll bring on Eric. Because I know you guys are probably excited for his opinion. He was at the game tonight. Yeah, Eric, just call me, man. I got my Skype right here. All right, here we go. All right, welcome to the stream, my man.
Hey, everyone.
Nice to talk to a human being right now because I'm frustrated, man. Like, give me your thoughts on the game. So you listened to this whole thing on your way home?
So when I hit the tunnel, I don't have internet anymore. So
gotcha.
But right when I said I was on max, if you saw that.
You were on the max. Gotcha.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything from that point on. But you're pretty heated, man.
Bro,
Not that
I'm tired of losing. We've lost 6 or 7. I'm tired of losing.
Dude, there was a play in the second half, and the Hazonia got the ball up top. It was a play he got fouled on eventually, but so he got the ball up top. All 4 other guys were just standing there, and Hazonia looked all around, and I literally saw it on his face. He saw no one was doing anything, and he was like, "Oh, okay, I guess I have to just drive in." And he just went one-on-one, and luckily someone fell for a pump fake and he got fouled. But
yeah, I know what play you're talking about because I can see by his body language, man.
Yeah, he was just like, "What the heck? No one's even doing anything. I guess I have to drive." And you could tell he was struggling too and didn't really want to drive. It's just,
I mean, that's our offense. Gotta stand there. Okay, nobody's moving. Yeah. Okay, we're not in a set. What do we? So I guess I just need to try and drive and do something. Hopefully something good happens. Okay, I'm gonna drive and hopefully something good happens. I pray, I pray that maybe I'll get fouled. Okay, I think I'm a pump fake. Oh, he jumped Jay. Okay, ooh, I drew a foul. Okay, somehow we got free throws out of this damn possession. All right, I'm gonna go to the line. Misses a free throw. Makes a second one. Okay, we got 1 point that possession. Good. Staatsfence.
And that was pretty much our offense the whole fourth quarter. I mean, yeah, CJ hit a couple shots, but those were not the right shot. I'm so sick of him.
I didn't think it was that bad tonight.
Dude, did you see some of those shots that he made? But, like, he had guys wide open. He's just, like, I turned to the people in my section. There was 4 plays in a row where I was like, CJ will not pass the ball once this possession before he even crossed half court. And that's exactly what happened. It drives me crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean, like, he hit shots.
And that was our offense.
Yeah.
But, like, over the course of the season, especially how he's been struggling, like, you don't freaking take those shots in games when it's like that. I mean, yes, there's a time for it, and we probably needed a couple of those shots. But then, like, what happened the next couple of possessions when he missed them? Then we got down by 12 all of a sudden, and it was too late to do anything. Because, like, it's great when those shots go in, but it's not the right basketball plays to make.
Yeah.
I don't know how many assists he has. It says CJ 0 assists McCollum. I didn't look at his box score yet, but
yeah. I'll check right now. I mean, dude, with his ball handling ability, with the way he plays offense, he should be able to get 5-6 assists per game.
Yeah.
And he had 4 assists.
All right, not bad.
That's a good game for CJ. What's funny is he had that first year he started, I think he averaged 4 assists.
It was over 4 assists, yep, with a plus 20% assist percentage too.
Yeah.
On similar usage. It's not like his usage has gone down or anything since then. Real quick, to Dame Dalla, I put my phone number in chat earlier in the podcast, saying to text me. You must have missed that one. Dude, I just, like, when they went on that run in the fourth quarter and we got down, and but there was still like 4 minutes left or whatever, I just sat there. I didn't feel like cheering. Like, it was just such a buzzkill. Like,
I mean, there was booze in there, wasn't it? Wasn't there? Like a
little... I didn't really hear any booze.
It sounded like there was a little bit of booze. Like, watching through the TV, I don't know. Chat, did you guys hear booze? Because it sounded like there was some booze, man. I'd have booed him out of frustration. This is ridiculous. Yeah, dude. Yeah. I don't understand the whole. Little did a good job on Siakam.
Dude, I put this in chat earlier. Siakam he basically got shut down by Little. There was a play where Little showed too much, but this was like late in the second quarter, I think, where Little showed a little too much and Siakam got an open three. But other than that, in the first quarter, he was like basically on an island one-on-one. Siakam got the ball several times in the corner and tried to drive on him, thinking it was going to be barbecue chicken. And Little did a great job defending him. Sure, Siakam's going to score a couple times, but I think he was like 6 for 18 at one point in the game.
Yeah.
Like, he was being shut down and completely out of that game.
So that's why we guarded him with a shooting guard down the stretch in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Makes sense. And we won't double.
Once again, so we played pretty well for a while in the third quarter, got a lead when Hood went crazy and started making some threes. And then, so what does Stotts do? He leaves Lillard in the whole third quarter again, and he obviously did not have it tonight. This is the type of game where you just let the bench handle it, and the bench actually played okay at times. Like, they didn't cost us this game tonight. I mean, the rotations might have, but not the bench, that like the second unit versus their second unit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do think we did play a better brand of basketball. I will say that. The first half, I thought we had some improvement in some of the things that we've been talking about. Just more energy. The defense was better. It seemed like they were more on the same page. Ball movement was a little bit better. We were getting into our sets a little bit earlier. So I was actually like, we weren't up by much, but I was all right. I was okay with the first half we had. It's just increasingly frustrating that it's like, see, okay, we can do this for a half, but then, 4 minutes left in the third quarter, we immediately revert back to bad habits and we don't score a field goal for over 4 minutes and we give up a 16-3 run, and then we, down the stretch we play 4 guards and we're getting abused by a lineup that has a much bigger front court with Rondae Hollis-Jefferson, Pascal Siakam, and Marc Gasol, and we're getting up rebound after rebound, and we're guarding Siakam with a damn shooting guard instead of the guy who's been doing a good job on him, and then our offense resorts to the same bogged down iso ball crap. That was my interpretation of the game.
Yep. And I know when Lillard came back in the fourth, I was like, this lineup is no good. He left Hood, Bazemore, CJ, and Dame and took Simons out right after he hit a three-pointer.
Yeah, I don't know why you take Simons out for Bazemore.
And then
Bazemore isn't much bigger. If you're going to go small with Anthony after he hits a three, because he has like the explosive ability offensively to like bring him back from that deficit.
Yeah, and also so there was a time where they were playing Siakam at center and basically had like Hollis Jefferson and a bunch of guards with him. Mm-hmm. And we had Whiteside in the game. And I think one time we went to Whiteside and he scored. And that was it. Like last year we would have like taken advantage of those situations sometimes with Nurk. Or Nurk would make it so we would take advantage of those situations because he would demand the ball or whatever. But yeah, like we just can't allow a team to get away with doing that. And I know like people are down on Whiteside, but I just think he's being used totally wrong. Like why not get him the ball close to the basket in those situations and just let him work?
He was being guarded by freaking Boucher, who's skinny as hell, man. Like, run a cross screen for Whiteside, get him good position. He was hitting shots tonight. It's ridiculous. Before you elaborate,
he got engaged early, and then we didn't go.
Yeah, I just wanted to respond to this chat. Gary Trent and Nasir Little are the same size, wingspan, my dude. Nasir Little like 7'1" wingspan. Gary Trent Jr. like 6'5", 6'6" wingspan. Wingspan matters. Standing reach matters. So what were you gonna say about Whiteside?
Like we got him engaged early, and he was into the game, and then we didn't go to him like again the rest of the game. Basically, like that frustrates me. Like.
I thought he played decently hard tonight.
We talk about how he's the type of player that you have to get him a couple looks early to get him going. And I felt like we did that tonight, and he was there, he was excited, he was in the game, he was hustling, and then nothing. And then, like, I can't stand playing on teams like that if you never get rewarded for anything. And, like, if he's not missing shots, like, keep passing. He even hit like a couple of jumpers tonight. Like
his jump shot looks better, man. He has better form on it than he did last year. Like, yeah, he was hitting. And then like the only time he got the ball was when Dame would drive into 3 people and shovel him a pass when he had a bunch of traffic around him and he'd try to force something up with like 3 guys draped all over him. You know what I mean? The Blazer fans get frustrated because it doesn't convert through that, but it's like, just get the dude some good shots with a set design that's able to get him the ball where he's not surrounded by 3 people and where he has decent position and doesn't have to post up from 15 feet. That's the type of thing I'm talking about with these damn sets, man, is they don't get people with good opportunities inside. Everything has to be created from the perimeter. Pick and roll. Isolation has to be created from the perimeter. Even our post-up sets, we telegraph that we're going to post a guy up and he gets pushed out of the paint to 15, 16 feet by the time we finally get them the ball. So they don't even have a good position. It's like they're creating from the perimeter too because they're so far away from the rim on their damn post-up. So literally everything inside comes from creating off the perimeter, or maybe we get lucky with a put back or a fast break opportunity. In the half court though, in the half court other than putbacks, like everything's created from the perimeter. We had one pass tonight, where it was to a cutter going towards the rim, and we converted it. It was that looping play where Anthony Simons got the ball, the pass was high, he caught it, and then shot that floater off the glass. You know what play I'm talking about?
Yep. And
we hardly hit that option. We hardly ever hit that option.
There was one where Whiteside passed a little for another layup, which is there almost every time. But
that's off the pick and roll.
Never go to it.
That was just playing off the pick and roll, though.
Yeah,
because he short rolled, God said. Yeah, no. But Nasir Little cuts baseline. That's what I like about it. He cuts baseline. Whereas guys like Bazemore, Hazonia, who are 30% 3-point shooters, they sit in the corner and keep shooting threes, and people are like, "Oh, well, Terry Stotts, man, he doesn't have guys that can make those threes. Look at the way Hazonia and Bazemore is shooting, and they should be cutting towards the rim." The defense is stretched out to take away Dame. They're hitting the roll man. The guy is helping off of Bazemore. Hazonia, Little, helping on to the roll, man, because up top, the defense is so far extended towards Dame that you need somebody to help up, or else the roll man's going to have a wide open dunk. And then Bazemore and Hazonia, they sit in the corner. Nasir Little, he cuts baseline. He gets layups. He got a dunk last game off a play like that. He had that play where he pump faked and got a layup inside.
Yep.
But that wasn't, that cut wasn't off a design set. That was freelancing out of the pick and roll. I mean, like off a design set. One play tonight. And that's
the only
more
thing
than
I'll
most
say
games.
about Whiteside is I'm never gonna get too down on him because he's getting the offensive rebounds and putting himself in these situations single-handedly. So I'm not gonna fault the effort there. But he does bring the ball down too much and tries to power up instead of just going right back up when he gets the ball. He could score a lot easier than that, but he's just given the defense time to sweat the ball when he brings it so low. But other than that, I don't know. I just think he's getting the brunt of people's frustrations, and I don't think he's the issue right now.
Yep. And production says Gary Trent, small forward, and Nasir Little, power forward. Thoughts? Rodney Hood's been terrific this season. Much better option than Gary Trent. Yeah, man, it's just that's the thing. That's what I hate when people blame. Those guys weren't hitting shots. Well, they have a wide open cut baseline, but these guys don't know how to freaking cut. It's the same cut that Harkless and Aminu would have, and they would miss shots, and people would be like, "Oh, forwards can't hit shots." That's why offense struggled. The forwards can't hit shots. He's actually doing a lot with nothing. When these guys could literally just cut baseline and get layups and dunks off that pick and roll action when they trapped him.
So when I was in the car, I heard a few things that really made me bad.
What were you listening to?
I wish I remember the stats thing. I don't remember the stats thing right now, but I heard two things from Dame. One is we just got outworked in the fourth quarter, and it's why? Why does this keep happening? And then what would be good when you're getting outworked? Putting in the biggest hustler on the team that was freaking diving for balls and going all out tonight. Mm-hmm. There's no excuse for not playing that guy if you're getting outworked in a quarter. And then two,
I'm putting this dude on timeout for saying that Dame has terrible court vision. Okay, keep going. That's bullshit.
So Dame was that's. Actually, I don't know if this is the Dame thing or the stats thing. So one of them said it's 4 games in a row that they've sold out to stop Dame or whatever. It's dude, that's what we've faced for years in the playoffs. When are you going to create something that allows us to make it so we punish teams for doing that? We could play 4-on-3 if we just have the right setup around that system. It drives me crazy.
It happens
there's
so much that we should be ready for it right when it happens, and we're not, and it's ridiculous.
And then we just continue. So the whole time Dame's in the game tonight, we just run the plays where we dribble right into their pressure, and there's no adjustment at all, no trying to get it. The only thing he does is sometimes he passes out of it. But for the most part, we just welcome it and we're expecting it, but we let it happen, and then we're stunned that it doesn't work. I don't understand. You can't set a pick and roll 30 feet from the basket when they're double teaming you. It just doesn't work.
I mean, the thing is, the only way that works is if you have a design that's able to take advantage of that, which they don't. So they keep around pick and roll into a damn brick wall. Yep, I 100% agree. Smart coaches would have guys in specific spots and instruct guys on where to cut, and they would know how to beat that. Because if you invite the trap, the guy rolls, and Dame's getting trapped with the ball. Behind that, we actually have a 4-on-3 advantage. So if we're able to get it out of that trap and make quick decisions, know where guys are at, have guys in specific spots to quickly take advantage of that, then it's a numbers advantage. But we don't do that. Number one, Dame never has a good outlet to relieve pressure. You know what I mean? He needs somebody kind of up near up a little higher across the court from him, because it's hard to kind of throw it downhill when you're getting trapped by two guys. And then you just need guys in specific spots. And he did that a little bit in the OKC series in the first round last year. That's why we had some decent success. But then he kind of went away from it in the second round, I thought. And there were still moments in that first round where it's just what are we doing? We deal with this year in, year out. every year in the playoffs we deal with getting trapped on the pick and roll, and for some reason we act shocked every time we see it, and we run into a damn brick wall, and we have no success because that's such a huge part of our offense.
Honestly, I thought several times in the OKC series, I thought, like, what is Billy Donovan doing not trapping Dame more? Like, why are they not doing
their
like,
traps were
I was
soft.
shocked. I was shocked how little they did it and how, like, soft they were when they actually did it. And that's the reason why he was able to go off, not because he eluded the traps. It's just because they weren't really there or very good. And so if, like, a lot of times it was Gasol, right, that was trapping Dame. And Gasol's a good defender, but then why not just plant Whiteside near the basket and don't even let Gasol get 20 feet near Dame? Because if Whiteside's not up there setting a pick or up on the three-point line or near the free throw line, then Gasol would have to guard him under the hoop, and he can't come out and trap. Same thing with Siakam. If Siakam's guarding Little or whoever's in the game at the time, put them in the corner, like spotting up for three, and then Siakam's out of the play too, or he's going to come trap and someone's wide open. Like, there's no reason to go set a pick. Just let Dame create by himself without the pick in those situations. And they never do that. They just always have to pick and drive right into the trap, and then Dame tries to pass out of it. Like you said, sometimes it works. But for the most part, like, that's not it's just like simple basketball, and like I don't understand why it's so difficult for them to figure it out.
Drives me crazy, man. Drives me absolutely crazy. It's the same problems. It's the same damn problems.
And then just like have someone else bring the ball up and post Dame up in the corner. Then, like, if it's really that bad, like it was tonight, like Dame wasn't getting anything. Like, he wasn't getting drives to the hoop. He wasn't getting open threes for the most part, except for like on chaotic plays where there's a kick out or something off an offensive rebound. So like in those situations, like, just stop having Dame bring it up into the pressure. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then why are we playing them so much again? Like, rest him more. Like,
how much did he play tonight?
I don't know. He sat for quite a while in the second quarter, so I want to say probably around 34 minutes without looking.
It's better. Second night of a back-to-back, though, he looked pretty gassed, honestly, which we predicted because dude's been playing crazy minutes.
Yep. Fifth game in 7 nights.
I got Nasir Little hair right now. I'll put this hat back on. This hat makes my hair all crazy, man. I look like a disheveled Blazer fan, and that's how I feel, too.
That's the other thing, too, is Little got the crowd in the game. He was the only one, really.
Oh, I bet.
And it was like, so this is how impactful energy is, right? Mm-hmm. So Little has a play where he gets blocked on a three-point shot, gets the ball back, goes in, almost like posterized someone. I don't know if there was a foul there. I didn't see a replay.
It wasn't a foul. It was Gasol underneath too.
Yeah. So he misses 2 shots basically on one play. The ball bounces out. He hustles down, almost steals the ball. Then the guy for Toronto gets the ball back, and then he dives on a loose ball like a second later and almost gets called for a foul. So you have a possession where he missed 2 shots and got called for a foul.
Yeah.
But the crowd went crazy. Like, they were like giving him a standing ovation. Like, good hustle, man. Like, that's awesome.
That.
Like,
yeah, thank you for being the one guy that will sell out your body on this team.
Right. So, like, I mean, I heard some people like comparing him to Jerome Kersey and stuff like that, and like, we need people like that right now when the body language is terrible. Everyone just seems down. They, like, anytime there's a stretch where the other team hits shots, like, everyone's just like, oh crap, here we go again. Mm-hmm. And you need guys that just come in. Like, at some point, just freaking put in Horton and Brown too, and just let them, like, at least play and try hard. That's all I want to see. It just drives me crazy to have yet another game this year where they're like, oh, we just got outworked in the fourth quarter. Well, what's going on, man? Why don't you try a little harder? And I'm not blaming Dame. Like, he's, like we talked about, his minutes are crazy, and he's allowed to have a game like this. I'm never going to get too down on him. Mm-hmm. This is the first time in, like, forever that he's scored less than 10 points in a game, I think. Um, but yeah, it's just.
Yeah. I mean, Hazonia is like the exact opposite of Little Man in terms of his energy. That dude, I didn't realize that dude was so unenergetic. Like people don't really notice how lazy Hazonia is, man. That dude's so much lazier than a guy like Whiteside, who people call lazy. Hazonia, the dude does not give any effort on the boards, no effort to box out. Defensively, his effort was absolutely terrible tonight. That three he gave up to Siakam, where Siakam just sat with the ball on the 3-point arc, and Hazonia was like 4 feet off him without a hand up. Couldn't even be bothered to put a hand up. Just hands by his side, just 4 feet away, just kind of like staring at Siakam. It was almost like Siakam was like, "You really gonna let me shoot this?" Okay, shot it. Hazonia didn't even contest, really. Drained that three. Do you know what play I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That pissed me off. That pissed me off more than any play this game, dude.
There was also a play where Hazonia got switched onto VanVleet, and he was guarding him in the corner. And then, somehow him and CJ both ended up guarding VanVleet, and then they both ran away from him, and he just was wide open for a three. I don't remember exactly how it happened, but both of them had him, and then they both ran right away from him. And it's like the communication's bad. I don't understand.
I just think it's funny how people tried to tell me how good Hazonia was, and I was like, you guys haven't really watched this guy play before, have you? And so I wasn't, trying to be a know-it-all, but it was just like, oh, dude, this guy's not good. When we signed him, man, I was telling you, I was like, this dude sucks. Like, why? This dude's not good. Oh, he's so bad. He's so bad, man.
Well, the frustrating part is he has the skills. Like, he seems like he could be a competent player and a useful player. It's just it just doesn't ever produce on the court. It's just weird.
Yeah. I don't know. We need dogs, dude. That's the thing.
Well,
you pass up a guy like Kenneth Faried, a hustle player, rebounder, guy who busts his ass. You like Ed Davis. I get it, to play Collins more, but Ed Davis was a fan favorite because he hustled, played his ass off. You need big man depth, right? What do? Yep. You signed Anthony freaking Tolliver, who's so washed up he shouldn't even be in the league anymore, 34 years old. You signed Mario Hazonia, who's a bust of a 5th overall pick, and that's just because, you liked him last year, now you got to bring him in. He's Nurk's buddy. You signed a 39-year-old who knows when he'll see the damn court. That's who you signed instead of, you got a guy like Kenneth Faried out there. Even a guy like Amir Johnson. Guys who play hard, who play the right way, who play to win, really want to win. No, you pass up that guy. He's playing in freaking China. That's what I was saying when we signed those guys. Like, why? That was my reaction, if you remember. That was why. But, yeah, go on.
He hit that three in the second half. And then the next time he got the ball, he seriously tried to do, a CJ step back, three with a guy in his face. It's like, dude, what are you doing, man? Just be happy you made a shot. And, don't
just play
force
smart,
it.
Play hard, know your strengths. We don't have guys to do that. Kent Bazemore does not play smart. Kent Bazemore is not a smart player. That's what I've come to realize. Mario Hazonia, not a smart player. Anthony Tolliver, 34-year-old veteran. Dude's not a smart player. Plays with no energy. At least Bazemore plays with some energy. The other two guys don't at all. You know what I mean?
Tolliver just might be old. He seems like a savvy vet. He just doesn't have the body to do it anymore.
Dude, seems like he should be playing in the big three, dude. He looks like a big three player.
Right.
He should be an Ice Cube league.
Not a good one.
Oh my god, dude! Get guys that play hard. That's where Olshey messed up. That's where Olshey messed up this offseason. Get guys who play hard, who play smart, play to their strengths. A guy like Kenneth Faried, even a guy like Jonas Jerebko, plays harder than Hazonia and Tolliver, and he's a shooter, and he pretty much just plays to his strengths. He's a shooter. He knocks down shots and he tries to defend. That's, you know what I mean? That guy didn't get signed. Kenneth Faried didn't get signed. Even a guy like Joakim Noah plays hard as a dog.
Well, the only thing I'll say about it is I holding out hope that a month from now we can use their contracts like we did with Stauskas and Baldwin, who weren't helping us last year, and bring in someone like Hood that does actually help us. I mean,
I just don't know if we'll be in a position to even want to trade our pick for anybody good.
Yeah. I mean, we only traded second rounders, like future seconds in that trade. But I mean, if the player is good enough, you'd think maybe it'd be worth using it first.
Yeah. Did you hear my whole segment on either, we're going to be good enough to make the playoffs and we'll end up making an upgrade at the trade deadline and have a really good roster coming to playoffs no matter what our seed, or it's going to be probably top 10 pick. Probably in between, it's going to be one or the other. Did you hear my whole speech on that earlier this show?
No, I heard so I got cut off right around where you said that you weren't even sure if you wanted Blake Griffin anymore.
Yeah, I think that was right before I went on this patch. Think about it, man. We get Collins back, we get Nurkic back, we make a trade at the trade deadline. If we're a 7th seed or whatever, but we got Collins, we got Nurkic, we got an upgrade. Maybe it's a Blake Griffin, maybe it's somebody else. Maybe Otto Porter Jr. is playing better. We get him. Maybe it's a guy we haven't even thought about yet. Then, we'd still have a chance at maybe making some noise in the playoffs. We beat Denver as the underseeded team. And that's the hardest place to win in the playoffs. Like, we've shown that we can win without home court advantage, win 2 games in Denver in a 7-game series. Okay, we still have Rodney. Anthony is just going to keep getting better. So, I mean, like, if we can figure out a way to make the playoffs and we don't end up having to face the Clippers in the first round, because I don't think we can beat the Clippers no matter what, unless we make a huge upgrade, get a Blake Griffin or whatever. Then if it's somebody else other than the Clippers, though, even if it's the Lakers, I think, okay, we'd have a chance. Because I don't think the Lakers are really much better than the Nuggets, and we beat the Nuggets last year with Enes Kanter as our center without Nurkic, you know what I mean? So even with all Stotts' problems, if Dame and CJ and Rodney Hood get hot, Anthony gets hot, they can still win in spite of that. So that's one end of it. I don't know if you wanted to add something on to that.
Yeah, so I've been saying this for a couple weeks. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello? Okay.
Do you not have headphones in anymore?
So yeah, if you get any... What's that?
Do you not have headphones in anymore?
I do have headphones in.
Okay, that's weird. There's like a lot of delay on it or something. I was hearing myself in the background. I don't know. Just go. Just go ahead.
So, like you said, if you get Nurk and Collins, anything from them this season, you make a couple of, even if there are moves like last year where you add a Hood and a Cantor level player at the near the trade deadline or in the buyout market.
Guy like Gallinari, maybe, somebody like that.
Yeah. With all these contracts that are expiring this year, there's going to be a lot of buyout market, and I think that's why they're holding the 14th spot open, or the 15th roster spot open and only going to 14 guys right now, because I don't know if that's the smartest thing to do with the situation right now. We just need bodies right now. So you think at some point they need to sign someone, but if you do those two things, and then on top of that, if you made a huge move with like Whiteside or Bazemore for a star level player or like a really good fit or better fit than those two, this team could be scary dangerous come playoff time. But at this rate, Dame's not even going to last till Christmas, so it doesn't really even matter.
Yeah. So it's either that or we have a chance at a top 4 pick, which then we could use to maybe make a move depending on what we did, or we draft a guy who has all-star potential to add to Simons, and we would literally be taking care of, you got Simons, Collins, Little, and whoever we got with a high draft pick, even if it's like a 10th overall pick, whatever. We still could get a good player because the top 10 is good in this year's draft. Then we'd be looking at we'd be competitive for the next 15 years. You know what I mean? If we hold on to those guys just with the way those guys would progress with how much young talent we'd have. And Nurkic still is pretty young. Like, that's the thing. So it's like, it's not like we're stuck where we're like probably going to be a 7th or 8th seed, not have a chance in the playoffs, and not have a chance at getting a high draft pick. I think we have a chance of both. So it's kind of like the opposite of like purgatory that people have talked about. There's a chance that we end up, 7th, 8th seed, but like could be competitive, like make a Western Conference Finals run in the playoffs, assuming our roster improves a ton, and then, Nurkic comes back, offsets some of Stotts' issues. Or if not, we have a chance at getting a high draft pick because the lottery odds are more even now. Now it's 4 teams. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not like we're stuck, with the same mindset as we've had last year. Like, oh, we're just going to be a first-round exit and not get a good draft pick and not progress. We're either going to be really competitive because we're going to make a deal at the deadline, or we're going to be like so bad that we end up getting a high draft pick. So, I mean, it could be worse. And we have Dame locked up for 6 years, so we don't have to worry about that. And Jody's keeping the team. That's what we've heard so far. So all the fans worried about who are we selling to and will we move, we don't have to worry about that. So it could be a lot worse. And we have flexibility. We're on the final year left over from 2016 for signing all those bad contracts. So it's not a horrible position to be in.
We know how soft the schedule is at one point later in the year. I worry that we're going to go on a run and then just miss the playoffs and then be stuck with that, like, 14th pick or something,
Yeah. I mean, if we are, we go into an off. I don't know. The thing is, I feel like if we're that close, we're going to end up trading that pick for a huge upgrade, and that will push us into the playoffs.
Yeah,
I feel like if we're close, we're going to end up making the playoffs because we'll make a huge upgrade, and then our schedule lightens up so much that we'll end up making the playoffs. And if we're really that bad, then we won't make an upgrade, and we'll like kind of tank, and we'll be like 10th or better. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't see like us getting a pick between 11th and 14th, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, we could always just protect the pick too. Like we could just make it top 10 protected, and then if we do make the playoffs or make a run, then
for sure,
we'd give it up. But if not,
I just think we'll either be good enough where we want to make a positive move at the deadline, and that'll catapult us into the playoffs, given how easy our schedule is and the guys we get back, or we won't be close enough to feel comfortable doing that, and we'll just, not bring Nurkic back, not bring Collins back, maybe rest Dame and take, and we'd be a top 10 pick to have a top 10 pick. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like we're stuck in between where we can't be competitive in playoffs and we won't get a top 10 pick. I either think it's going to be a situation where we are competitive in the postseason no matter what our seed is, or we have a top 10 pick, if that makes sense. So, could be in a lot worse position right now. As bad as things are right now, but
I just didn't think it was possible for Dame to be playing at this level minus tonight.
Yeah.
And to be talking about being a bottom 10 team with him not injured. Like,
as well as with like Anthony looking good too. You know what I mean? Like, Anthony looks good. That's another positive. Little's like already like having a, he's not great. He's not, not good. I wouldn't say he's good yet, but like he, nobody expected him to play, and he's played good defense on Pascal Siakam tonight. You know what I mean? So like he's going to develop. Could be a lot worse. There is positives. That was like my whole speech to Blazer fans to try and keep them optimistic.
Well, we talked about this in the offseason too. Is like not many good teams have a young core. I mean, I guess we're not good anymore right now, but like we have a whole lineup of good young core players. We have Biggs and Nurkic and Collins and Scal, and then we have a wing now with Nasir. We have the guards and Simons. I guess if you want to throw Trent in there, I probably wouldn't yet, but yeah, it's just like we have developmental players to do that, and I just wish that. I don't know. At some point, I think we need to play those guys more and play Dame and CJ less if that's going to be the plan. And I do think that Dame and CJ won't like that, but I hope they can see how it'll be better in the future if we aren't going to make the playoffs. But I'm almost like, I just think they should make a move just to make a move at some time, some point, like even before December 15th. Like even if it's as simple as the Gary Trent for Jonah Bolden type trade that we talked about, just like something to shake up the roster, like just bring in a new face, and like you never know when you'll catch lightning in a bottle, like with the Nurkic trade, and then we'll go on a huge run. And I just wish we'd mix it up a little bit. I understand that it takes two teams to trade, and there's not a lot of teams out there looking to make moves this early in the season, so it's a little difficult.
Yeah,
but
I don't think Holsh is going to try to do anything. I think they're just going to sit back and say, okay, we just got to be better. Okay, well then be better. Work on, fix the problems like that we've been dealing with consistently. So it's it's just I was seeing this going a lot differently. I wish I was doing post-game live streams last year when we had that huge run. You know what I mean? I feel like I kind of missed out. Yeah, man. I wish I started this channel like a year ago and it had to take off like this a year ago. It would I don't know. It's just like, of course, like the season I'm most excited for, the season that I, start doing these post-game live streams, podcasts, all that type of stuff. It's gonna be a rough season, like, of course. But as I said, that's kind of the way I'm trying to look at it. Because otherwise I'm just gonna be really frustrated, as you could tell when I came on stream.
Our defense is so bad, giving up. I'm pretty sure
it's not even like personnel bad. It's like stupid mental mistakes bad.
I'm pretty sure they shot over 40% from three again tonight.
They did. They shot 43%. They were 14 for 32.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Anyway, here's a question for what were you going to say?
Rondae Hollis-Jefferson had 16 and 11. That's how freaking bad it was, including like 8 offensive rebounds. Like, it's bad if that's happening.
Hey, we could have signed him for the minimum instead of Anthony Tolliver. But no. And he's a guy who can play defense and hustles, But no, wouldn't want a guy who hustles.
Hey, real quick. Even though I feel like I was kind of right about the oldness of the Raptors catching up to them at some point, because Lowry and Gasol haven't been great this year. Mm-hmm. I was wrong about the Raptors. They're a good team. That was a stupid underpick. And they're gonna, as long as Siakam's healthy, they're gonna be a top seed in the West or the East.
Legit, man. I'm a huge fan of Siakam. I sat behind him in summer league when Lonzo Ball went off after getting drafted his rookie year. You remember that summer league game? He had like a triple-double and 30 points. I was at summer league. I sat behind Jakob Poeltl and Pascal Siakam that game, and they were talking so much shit to each other because like Pascal's like, Lonzo's the real deal, man. Like he was getting like hyped and jumping up when Lonzo scored and like talking shit to Poeltl, and it was hella funny. Like seeing like a guy like NBA guy get hyped over another NBA player for a different team at summer league or something. I never would have thought that guy was going to be this freaking good. Like I was like, oh, that's Pascal Siakam. I think it was after he'd been in the league a year and was a nobody, and now dude's like going to be an all-star. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, like when the Toronto took him in the first round, everyone was like, what are they doing?
Yeah,
because like he wasn't on a lot of people's radars.
It was the same way with Kuzma, too, and they were both with the same pick, same position. Pascal was taken 27th, and then the year after, Kuzma was taken 27th. Larry Nance Jr. was another power forward that was taken 27th that I remember when he was picked. He was like projected to go in the late second round, and when he was drafted, people were like, what are you doing? And Larry Nance Jr. has been a pretty good player for a 27th overall pick.
Wasn't Gobert 27th, too?
Gobert was like 21.
I think he was 27.
No, he was early.
He was later in the first. I'm gonna look this up.
You want to bet that it will? I'll bet you $10 that it wasn't 27. Oh, you already looked it up.
$10.
So, yeah, you're looking at it right
25
now. You're looking at it right now.
No, I have not looked yet. He was the 27th pick. so you don't owe me anything. But he was 27th pick.
He was 27, but I was only talking about power forwards. Also, Gobert was
Yeah, I know.
projected to
I'm
go in
just-
the first round. I was talking about power forwards that were projected to go late second, or like
Yeah.
close to undrafted second round that were randomly taken first round. It was a big shock and ended up being good. There was 3 power forwards. You try to steal my money. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
question though.
we're not getting Siakam. We're not getting Spicy P. That's not happening.
Yeah, no. Come on, guys. We gotta be more realistic with trade suggestions here. We're not gonna get Giannis in 2021. I saw somebody suggest that. We're not gonna get Pascal Siakam. We gotta be more. We gotta be realistic with it, because I know there's like a couple Raptors fans in here that probably saw it and be like, "What the hell are you talking about?" That's like a Raptors fan talking about like, "Oh, what if we let's try and get Dame?" Like that. No, we're not gonna trade Dame. Rocco and Siakam would be perfect for us. Siakam would be absolutely perfect. Guy who can make plays. If Dame gets trapped, you give the ball to Siakam and he can make a play in the open court. Like a guy like Siakam, and he's a great defender. A guy like Siakam would be absolutely perfect for this team, because Terry Stotts still going to run pick and roll 30 feet away from the rim into a trap anyways. So you need a guy that can play make. That's why I like Blake Griffin, a guy that can shoot, make plays when Dame's trapped, and handle the ball a little bit. Siakam, I'd love Siakam, but we're not going to be able to get him. He just signed an extension.
He's like Aminu if he was on steroids and like really good at basketball.
Yeah. Aminu's ceiling when Aminu was drafted in like the top 10. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yeah. So I was looking a little bit into Gorgie Jang the other day, and his defensive metrics are actually pretty favorable.
See, that's the.
I know you didn't really want to talk about that trade before.
Let's talk about it.
Like doing other avenues, but so like I was talking the other day, like if this was on the table, like Covington and Jang for Whiteside and a first round pick, or maybe even 2, I'd probably do that today.
2 first-round picks with Whiteside for Jang and Covington?
I mean,
That's
like, I don't know if
way
I
too
do a
much.
second first-round pick.
I wouldn't
but
even
I'd
give
at
up
least
one first-round pick.
At least do one.
I wouldn't even give up one first-round pick. Would you give up Nasir Little with Whiteside for Jang and Covington?
No, probably not. I'd probably do.
You wouldn't give up Simons either. That's the last 2 guys we got with late first-round picks. This pick is probably going to be higher than what we, where we drafted them, and that was in drafts that were
obviously it would be protected and stuff.
Yeah, I'm just, I'm not trading up first for that. I'd do Whiteside for Jang in a first, or Whiteside for Jang in a first and salary cap for whatever. Since they want to clear cap space, I don't know. Maybe try and find a way to get Whiteside to a third team.
I don't think they're sending a pick, and I don't think a team is going to give up a first for Whiteside right now.
I mean, it's an expiring contract, so they're basically trading, a first to get rid of Jang's $16 million, because they wanted off of him last summer.
But they're not going to trade first before they get D'Angelo Russell, because they're going to need first to give to the Warriors anyway.
I mean, if they don't get D'Lo, though. You're talking about the deadline. Maybe the Warriors want to wait till the offseason to see what they could get for D'Lo, to see what their pick is, that type of thing, if whatever. Maybe they get third pick and Anthony Edwards, shooting guard, is who they want to go with, and they want to replace D'Lo's spot in the rotation with Anthony Edwards and have Klay play the 3, and then you try and trade D'Lo for a 4 or 5. I don't know. But
real quick, Abu Bakar, I realize the Raptors are a good 3-point shooting team. You're obviously a Raptors fan and don't follow the Blazers. We give up like season high percentages to every team we play with 3-point percentages. So,
yes.
And whether you're a good 3-point shooting team or not, 40% is not acceptable for letting another team shoot in a game. Like that's like Warriors level good.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we let Pascal get off threes. That we let Siakam shoot so many open threes that second half. It was inexcusable. He's a good shooter. You can't let him shoot open threes.
So what about this? If these trades were on the table today, you have Whiteside for Otto Porter Jr.
You cut out. Say that again. The trades.
Okay, Whiteside for Otto Porter Jr.
Okay.
And Bazemore for Zhang.
I wouldn't trade Bazemore. maybe Bazemore for Jang, but like taking on that contract, I want some sort of compensation.
Yeah.
Maybe second round picks or some, 2-3 second round picks, replenish our second round picks, those 2 picks turned into Rodney Hood at the last year's deadline, so get some second round picks. I'd do that. Otto Porter Jr. hasn't been playing well. He's probably going to accept his player option, so he's probably on a 2-year, $27 million a year contract. Jang, we could maybe use his contract to make a trade in the summer since he'd have 1 year left. I don't know, and Minnesota wants to clear cap space, so only trading a couple second-round picks to get a guy like Bazemore who would probably play for them, and they probably wouldn't view as much of a downgrade from Jang. That's some realistic options, and we'd, start Otto Porter Jr. at the 3 or the 4, and then have Jang behind Nurkic once Nurkic gets back. That's the type of moves I would do those moves. If we're bad, though, I'd take a cap dump with a first-round pick. For a guy like, I do like Bazemore and like filler salary for Nicholas Batum and but their pick is probably going to be too good.
They're not going to, right.
But like, I'd do a trade like that because Batum could replace Bazemore and it wouldn't be a downgrade, so it wouldn't look like we're tanking, and we'd add a pick. And then we'd have that salary as an expiring next year to make a move to match salary in a trade, and we'd have an extra pick to maybe facilitate that, or we add to our core type of thing. So there's different routes. We have a lot of options available. In the past, we haven't had any options available because we've had horrible contracts and ain't nobody trading for. Now we have a lot of options available. That's definitely a positive this year. So the trade talk is going to be a major thing on this channel and in Blazers circles, especially if this team struggles, because that's what people use to get through a struggling season, is the potential of something different, the excitement of something different. It's like when you're in a bad relationship, you're looking out there like, oh, the girl that's my friend, maybe she's into me, maybe that'd be better. You get excited at it. I'm not speaking from experience or anything. You know what I mean? It's like a bad relationship. You get excited for the possibility of something different, something new. It's exciting for you. If you're not in a good relationship, you know what I mean? But you're, hopefully I am. Are you?
Yeah, I'm married with 3 kids.
Exactly. Exactly. I wasn't going to speak for you. But, it's the trade talk. It's going to be exciting this year. Hopefully they do something. They will do something. I'm sure of it.
I'm trying to think of a player that signed a big deal this summer that it is disappointing so far that a team would be looking to get out of their contract. Because Charlotte has a lot of intriguing expiring contracts, like Marvin Williams, guys like that could probably help this team, but their contracts are kind of weirdly priced, so like it's going to be hard to make a trade with them. Mm-hmm. But I'm trying to think of someone who signed this summer that's doing terrible on their current team, and
how about Friday we do a trade podcast, man? We've talked about all the problems. Like, let's do like that's we got 80 people watching it right now. We don't usually get many people. We usually get like 50 or 60 people on our podcast. So tune in sometime around 3:30 p.m. on Friday. We'll discuss some trades. I also plan on doing a trade video at some point too. We'll start with some trade talk just because the other thing we talk about is how bad the Blazers have been doing. And right now that's basically what the post-game show is, and that's what the podcasts have been. So we'll switch it up. We'll do a trade center, not with the graphics like last time, and we'll talk about some other stuff on that podcast too. It's not going to be as structured as like our whole trade preview that was almost a 2-hour podcast. It's not going to be like that, but we'll talk about trades. We'll come up with trade ideas, some new ones, some fresh ideas, maybe some stuff we can do now. There's stuff that we could do on December 15th, which is about a month away, when a lot of the free agents that signed this past summer become available to be traded. So that'll be something for you guys. So, anyway.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'll bring some trade stuff again.
Yeah. So, what did I go? We had our podcast today. I had a pretty good record in terms of our over/under bets that I made on that podcast. Did I get a game wrong?
Hold on. I'm looking at the scores. So, you had Memphis covered. Philadelphia did not against Orlando, so you got that one right. Houston covered against the Clippers. Boston was at 7.5. I
Oh,
think Washington covered if it was 7.5.
it was a 7 point game. Damn. Okay, I got that one wrong. But I had Minnesota over the Spurs. Minnesota won
Minnesota
by
covered.
15. Lakers
The
covered.
rap the rap the underdog Raptors won.
So I went 6-1. You
Dude,
were
we should
giving
have
me
put.
crap going into this game, into today, about how badly I've been picking. I went 6-1
I
today.
know you did well.
What were you saying?
We should have put like $10,000 on the Raptors tonight.
Oh no, I was gonna tell you put money down on the Raptors, like Blazers 4 point spread. Um, yeah, man,
I put
I
a couple bucks on it, but not enough to
should have
make.
put more than
Like,
that. Should have,
I know.
could have. Yeah, man.
I was going to the game. I was holding out hope that.
The thing is, San Antonio has been playing really bad. That's who we play next. We already lost to them in San Antonio, but San Antonio has been playing bad.
Hey, you know what the recipe for playing good when you're playing bad is?
Playing another team that's playing bad.
Playing the Blazers in particular.
Exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying. Both these teams are probably like, okay, other teams are playing bad. We've been playing bad. Maybe this will be a fun game for us. Thing is, though, who in the world is going to guard LaMarcus Aldridge?
Yeah. Well, that's the problem too. Like, do you start? I mean, if they start Trey Lyles, it's fine. I guess you just put Whiteside on Aldridge and take your chances.
Oh, if
and
they start
then
Lyles, yeah.
have Little
Lyles
guard.
is more of a power forward than Aldridge is. You put Little on Lyles. Lyles does absolutely nothing. So then you keep starting Little. But if they start like
I'm gonna
Aldridge
I'm gonna
and
see what they
Pirtle,
did tonight
if they start
because
Aldridge and Pirtle,
Portal's gonna come.
then you start maybe Labissiere and Whiteside.
They started Lyles tonight.
Okay, they've been starting Lyles, so they've been starting Aldridge at center. Then you got
Yeah.
Whiteside versus Aldridge. You got Little versus Lyles.
Yep.
You got Hood versus
And then
DeRozan.
Yep, and then Forbes and Murray with CJ. Yep, I like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a team that we can beat. It would be. I think it's, dude. This is such an important game to win, given how hard this road trip is. Given how bad the Spurs have struggled.
We were up like 23-4 on the Spurs, or even worse,
I
maybe.
know. Yeah. Like this is an important game. Start off the road trip right. Get a good feeling on the start of the road trip. Go to 5-8, and then you go to Houston. That's going to be a really tough game. But if we lose, go to 4-9, and then go to Houston. We're looking at probably 4-10. Like this, and if we lose against the Spurs, I don't expect us to have the morale to even have a chance against the Rockets. So I think this Spurs game is very important because this road trip you're looking at the Spurs, the Rockets, the Pelicans, the Bucks, the Cavs, the Bulls. So theoretically, if the team's playing well, you're looking at 4-2 road trip being the Pelicans, Cavs, Bulls, and then one of the Bucks, Rockets, and Spurs. Right now, I think you're looking at a 2-4 road trip.
Yeah.
The Cavs, the Bulls, the Pelicans, probably looking at winning 2 of those 3 games. 2-4 road trip would put us at 6-12. But if we were able to pull off a 3-3 road trip, we'd be looking at 7-11. That would be a lot more acceptable. As I said, with my schedule breakdown, a team that's as good as a 50-win team, with how hard our schedule has been, would start off 7-10 or 8-9. Our schedule's been easier than expected, given how many injuries that other teams have had. So we have underperformed given our schedule, but we wouldn't be in a horrible spot given the teams we'd have left to play, so to say, if we end up 7-11. So that's the goal. 3-3 road trip. After a 3-3 road trip, I'd be feeling better because after this road trip, you got the Thunder at home. You got the Bulls at home. Maybe Pau Gasol's back for that. You got Clippers on the road, tough game, but then you got the Kings at home. Team we should beat. They'll probably be without De'Aaron Fox for that game. Lakers at home, tough game, but then you got the Thunder at home, Knicks at home. You play the Nuggets on the road, then Suns are eh. Then you got the Warriors at home, bad team, Magic at home. The schedule, that's the thing. December schedule is easy. After that, Timberwolves at home, Pelicans at home. You know what I'm saying? The schedule lightens up. So that's the thing. If we are able to figure things out and have a decent road trip, we have some winnable games on this road trip, then we have a chance of being fine. given who we have left to play. We just, we got a tough road trip. We started off right with the win against San Antonio. Then we have a chance. Then we should have a 3-3 road trip, which would be a bit definitely I think that would be a good road trip to go 3-3 on this road trip, because after the Spurs game, you take care of that game. You got Pelicans, Cavs, and Bulls on the road. I think you win 2 of those 3 games, even with how bad the Blazers are playing. Maybe not, but I think you can win 2 of those 3 games.
I mean, we lost to Golden State without all 5 of their starters.
Definitely, but that should be the worst game we played all season. I'm just speaking hypothetically. You know what I mean? We could definitely lose all those games.
I'm so depressed right now. Sorry.
No, I get it.
Well, I feel like the only way we can win a game right now is if Dame or CJ go off, and that's like this dumbest strategy. Like, we should be playing as a team, and we have no chance unless those 2 just go crazy.
The Pelicans aren't good. The Pelicans are 2-8.
Right.
They have no home court advantage. The Cavs are 4-6, but they're playing in the East. That Cavs team ain't good. And then the Bulls, dude. The Bulls, I thought they'd be a little bit better, but they're just not a cohesive team. Isn't Lauri Markkanen out too?
He's been in and out of the lineup. I'm not sure if he's out for an extended period or not. But
they don't really have depth. That's the thing. Those teams aren't good. We have a more talented roster. Even with these injuries, we have a more talented roster than the Pelicans, Cavs, Bulls. If we're able to beat the Spurs, I think we'd have a chance at going 4-2 on the road trip.
Yeah.
With how bad we're playing. 4-2 on the road trip would put us at 8-10. 8-10 would be a great record to have. We'd be on a 50-win pace considering who we have. I wouldn't be saying we're as good as a 50-win team, but given who we have left to play and given how hard our schedule has been, we'd be on about a 50-win pace. You know what I mean?
But yeah, that's what's frustrating about the coaching right now, though, is we're not that bad of shape, but it just seems like it's lost because it's beginning to feel like a lost season because nothing. I don't know. They don't seem to be trying. I mean, like you said, you got to give Stotts credit for playing little, but was that really a tough decision with the way Hazonia and Tolliver have been playing?
Yeah.
I just don't have any faith that.
I mean, but I'm hoping Little's going to play more. That's the better option. Whiteside should be healthier. CJ kind of looks like he's getting out of his funk. I don't know. I thought they looked decent the first half tonight. Looked like they figured some things out. Reverted back to some bad habits. Toronto's a good team, even with the guys they were missing. If they could put 2 halves like that together, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to be optimistic. Because it's super easy to just be frustrated and say, I'm not going to watch a team, I'm done. Screw this.
Oh, dude, I would never say that. I watch every game.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Season's not over. 12 games in. Sorry if I'm hitting my mic stand and it's coming through the mic. Start off with the Spurs. We have 2 days of rest. Play little. Spurs have been playing really, really bad. Their defense has been really, really bad. So, maybe our offense is able to figure things out because our offense has been crap. And we start off there. And if we win that game, we have a chance of a 4-2 road trip. And after a 4-2 road trip, we'd be fine. A 3-3 road trip, I think we'd be okay. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. So I'm not even going to say your name because you got mad at me for mispronouncing it. Outside opinion, I don't think Fred VanVleet has a chance at an all-star spot. He could be
he played the Blazers every night.
He could be a 18, 19 point per game guy with Lowry out. I'm guessing that's kind of what he'll be around, but there's other guys that get 18, 19 points per game. That would make the All-Star team in the East.
You got to go with the wheels saying, man. If he played the Blazers every night, he'd be an All-Star.
Oh, I know. Especially when we let him pull up off the screen with a ton of space because we're sagging the big so much. That also made me mad how we didn't adjust to that. We just kept letting him pull up off the screen without putting the big up to make him drive. The thing is, when we hedged little, VanVleet drove and didn't really get much going. and he wasn't getting himself going because he was driving into the paint, and we were actually like rotating well on the help side. That's why I liked starting Little, and then I liked hedging him. I thought it was a good decision, and then we went away from it. So it's just.
Oh, hey, you know what else I love?
What?
How what Draymond did to us in that Golden State series. We still don't have an answer for that, too. I'm sick of people just getting a long rebound and going coast to coast and no one stopping ball and just drive.
Yeah, it's bad. Our transition defense is not the best. Not the best.
So I guess the other positive thing with a good road trip, if they are able to somehow do it, like you said, you come back and you play Oklahoma City and Chicago at home, and then you're into December, so you're creeping near that December 15th date when a lot of players are available. Mm-hmm. So if we can just tread water until then, stick as close to 500 as we can. I know it's going to be tough with some of those games after that, but you do have some gimmies in there, hopefully, with like New York and Sacramento.
And hopefully we have Gasol back at that point too, because Gasol will help this team. His passing, he'll be able to do some of the things Nurkic did. And when Nurkic started passing the ball a lot more and being put in a position to pass a lot more last season, our offense had a lot more off-ball movement, and it sparked a lot more ball movement, and we just had a much more quality offense. So I'm kind of hoping that Gasol is able to do that in spurts with the bench unit to help them get better shots. And hopefully, I don't know. I'm hoping that he can help the team. I don't know. Who knows when he's going to be back? Who knows if it's a Festus situation? But that's the thing. That's the thing with a good road trip. If we are able to knock off the Spurs and turn it into turn it into a good road trip, is there's schedule lines up. Whiteside will get healthier. Pau Gasol might come back at some point. CJ getting out of his funk. Anthony's getting better. Like even without a move, there's some reason for optimism. But like you said, December 15th is a date to watch.
Yeah.
And we'll, you can come up with a couple targets that, for that Friday podcast.
Sounds good. I'll do some research.
So, anyway, we're going to wrap up this podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. This 2-hour podcast after the Blazers dropped that game. I've talked long enough that my brain's kind of fried, that I've kind of forgotten what happened tonight, which is good. That's always the goal after a night like tonight. Hopefully your brain's fried too and you forget the misery that we've had to start the season. Now all of a sudden I'm looking forward to the San Antonio Spurs game because I'm looking at it like, if we can just get this game. But that's been the case with a lot of past games. So I don't know. Hopefully ended on a positive note, optimistic note. So thank you guys for tuning in. Kind of crazy that we still got almost 70 people in here, even though the chat's kind of died down. We'll have podcast on Friday, post game on Saturday. Get a mail back out tomorrow, maybe a trade talk video, but we will have that trade talk. We will have a trade podcast on Friday focusing on trades a lot, so I don't know if I'll do a trade talk episode. I know I've been teasing that for a while. I'll definitely get into that. My life's been hectic. I'm trying to sort out new living situation, so that's why the content hasn't been like it was a week ago or so. Been trying to figure that out. So anyway, I'll catch all you guys later. Hope you guys have a good night. And I'll see you guys soon. This is for Tori, for Eric Brant. Peace out. Go Blazers.